She was beaten in jail for asking for a pad. She wasn't violent. She wasn't dangerous. She wasn't even convicted. She was just a woman sitting in a holding cell, bleeding, uncomfortable, afraid to ask for help. But when she finally did, when she asked for the basic dignity of a sanitary pad, they beat her. Her name was Danielle, 28 years old, a single mom. She had been arrested after a routine traffic stop revealed an outstanding warrant for unpaid parking tickets. Not a felony, not a violent crime, just a few missed court dates because she had no car and no one to watch her child. She was taken to the county jail, booked, and left in a holding cell overnight. She was on her period. No one asked. No one offered her hygiene supplies. There was no privacy, no running water, no pads, just a concrete bench, a metal toilet, and surveillance cameras watching every second. She tried to hold it together. She folded toilet paper, changed it every hour, sat quietly, until finally she asked. She pressed the intercom button and politely requested a pad. She was told, not right now. She waited 2 more hours, pressed again. This time, the voice on the speaker was annoyed. Stop bothering us. She pressed one last time. She said she was bleeding through her clothes. She said she felt humiliated. And that's when they came in. 2 male guards, 1 female officer. They opened the door like it was a raid, yelling, grabbing her arms, accusing her of being disruptive and non-compliant. She screamed, not because she resisted, but because she didn't understand what was happening. 1 officer slammed her to ground. Her head bounced off the concrete. She was handcuffed, not behind her back, but with her arms twisted in pain. And then they dragged her to another cell. This one had no toilet, no bench, just 4 cold walls. They left her there, still bleeding, still humiliated, still human, but treated like nothing. The next morning, a nurse finally visited her. She documented bruises on Danielle's face, wrists, and ribs. Still, no pad. Danielle was released the following day. No apology, no accountability, no mention of what had happened. But someone else had seen it. A jail staff member anonymously leaked the surveillance footage. It showed the officers storming into the cell, shouting, throwing her to the ground. The video went viral. People were outraged. Women across the country spoke out. How could this happen in America? How is asking for a pad considered a threat? Why are poor women treated like animals for needing help? Danielle eventually sued the county. The officers claimed she had been aggressive, that she posed a security risk. That protocol had been followed, but the video told a different story. The lawsuit settled out of court. She received a small amount of money. No officers were fired. No reforms were made. Danielle now works with women's rights organizations. She speaks out about how incarcerated women, especially those in poverty, are denied basic hygiene, medical care, and dignity. She says, I wasn't dangerous. I was bleeding. That's it. They didn't see a woman. They saw a problem. This isn't an isolated story. According to a 2022 report, over 80% of U.S. jails do not automatically provide menstrual products, even when requested. In many cases, women have to beg, barter, or face retaliation just to stay clean. And too often, they suffer in silence. Danielle's story reminds us of something deeper. That cruelty doesn't always wear a badge. Sometimes it wears indifference. Sometimes it hides behind rules. And sometimes calls itself justice. But in the end, it leaves scars that no settlement can erase. Loudspeakers share this story if you believe human dignity should never be optional. Bell subscribe to Truth, uncover to hear the voices they tried to silence. Speech Balloon drop a comment if this outraged you, or if you've ever witnessed abuse of power up close.